Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to Robert Sports Show. I'm your host, Robert. Alright, Impact Wrestling Bound for Glory review. Or, as the news broke at the end, the little vignette at the very end of the show, in 2024, TNA, Total Nonstop Action, will return. I love it. During the pre-show, which was the Hall of Fame, Tracy Brooks getting inducted in the Hall of Fame by Gail Kim, and then having Scott D'Amore induct Mike Tenay and Don West, and all the TNA vibes that everything gave off. I was literally sitting there like, man, too bad I don't bring TNA back. Bring TNA back. This is cool. I got this. I got Impact Plus. I need to go watch some of the old stuff. You know, kind of relive a lot of those memories. The Don West and then Mike Tenay, just the sound of TNA, and then having them announce TNA coming back. I was like, oh, that's so cool. No, I think it's TNA Impact Wrestling for the last 3 to 5 years has been on the uptake. Great matches. It's just like anything else. There's WWE up here. Everybody else is right here. I mean, right now I would rank WWE obviously number 1, AEW number 2, New Japan. If you look at World, New Japan's maybe 3 or 4, Impact's 3 or 4, and then you got those are kind of the big 4. AEW, WWE, New Japan, and Impact. And then everybody else is kind of there. Obviously CMLL, and AAA, they don't have a lot of shows on here in the U.S., but obviously AEW doing some stuff with CMLL, New Japan does stuff with CMLL, Impact's doing some stuff with AAA, AEW's done stuff with AAA. It's just a cool time to be a wrestling fan because you got WWE and everyone else is trying to work together now. But yeah, overall great show. I will throw this disclaimer out there. If you are a storyline only person, so if you don't like dream matches and you don't like matches that don't have a big story behind it, the top 2 matches of the show were not storyline matches. They were just dream matches that came about, and those are the 2 top matches of the show. Or 2 of the top matches. So that does happen and does put off some great vibes as well. We had some great stories being told though too. Pre-show was the Hall of Fame induction. Then, so the first match we had typical Impact Wrestling TNA. It's gonna be hard to go back saying TNA, but typical Impact Wrestling X Division title. First off, we had champion Chris Sabin versus KENTA. Again, one of those oh my god dream matches. One of the greatest strikers in New Japan, KENTA, going up against Mr. TNA, Mr. Impact Wrestling, Chris Sabin. Been there from the beginning. Motorcycle Machine Guns. He's held every title. Just super talented, both these guys are. Just the strikes versus the rope work is just second to none with these 2 guys. They went out there for 11 and a half minutes, gave us an incredible match. I ended up giving this match 3 3/4 star, with Chris Sabin getting the victory to retain his X Division title. Want to see more of KENTA in the X Division. It is just, the X Division is not about weight limits, it's about no limits. And KENTA fits right in there with Chris Sabin and Alex Shelley and everyone. Next up we had the vintage TNA Impact Wrestling match, Monsters Ball. Fatal 4-way. We had PCO, Moose, Rhino, and Steve Maclin. They had their Feast or Fire briefcase show here a couple weeks ago. And Moose got the world title one. Well, Maclin actually took the briefcase down, but in the Feast or Fire, you have to go up to the pole, get the briefcase, successfully get out of the ring with the briefcase. Well, Maclin went and got the briefcase down. Moose ended up attacking him and knocking the briefcase out. Moose picked the briefcase up and got it. So those 2 at one point were kind of on the same side of one another. Then they started feuding there. Rhino got involved in that. PCO has just been a thorn, and Steve Maclin and him have been kind of just feuding as well. So this is a bunch of different feuds, a bunch of different things that's going on, kind of combined into one Monsters Ball. It wasn't the same level of destruction as an Abyss Monsters Ball, but it was still pretty darn good. The fact that Bully Ray came out, him and Maclin had issues, and Bully Ray pushed Maclin off the top rope through a table covered in barbed wire, which pretty much eliminated him, and then PCO getting the victory. PCO and Bully have kind of been, let's say friends, but frenemies. So I'm like, okay, you kind of continue that Bully Ray, Steve Maclin storyline. You kind of continued that, so that's kind of cool. I ended up giving it 3 1/4. PCO getting the victory there. Next up, we had the Impact Tag Titles on the line. We had champions the Rascalz, Trey, Miguel, Zachary, Wentz, going against ABC, Ace, Austin, Chris Bay, Bullet Club. This match was damn good as well. The fact that the Rascalz, Trey Miguel won the X title, spray painted it, because he's that tagger, and he ended up losing it. Zachary Wentz returned. They rejoined the Rascalz. They won the tag titles. They faced them as well. The Bullet Club or the ABC Club, which is a spinoff of the Bullet Club, they had an issue with that. Subculture, another one of the top tag teams in Impact Wrestling, had an issue with that. And so the big one, this one is like, we're taking the titles from you, so because you defaced them, that's not right to do that. And so these two teams out there, two legit top tier tag teams had one heck of a match. I ended up giving it 3.5. 3 3/4. I was right there on it a little bit, but there was some shenanigans going on with it, so it's like couldn't cross that line at 3 3/4. So I went 3.5 on it. So definitely one of the top 3.5-star matches. Again, borderline 3 3/4. ABC Club getting the victory. And Austin Chris Bay, the new Impact Wrestling tag titles. And then we just had Jesus Wrestler out there and won the match of the night. Again, as much as people don't like dream matches, they don't like matches where it's the only reason they're in a match together because to get a pop. Do not watch Will Ospreay versus Mike Bailey. If Mike Bailey is not the best striker in professional wrestling today, I want to see who is. If Will Ospreay is not the greatest pro wrestler in the universe today, I want to see who is. You take those two top, somebody like Will Ospreay, who not only can do the dives, does the crazy spots, does Os cutters on the apron of the ring, can also kick like no one's business. He hit a hidden blade in this match that I cringed on. Speedball Mike Bailey, he does that dropping knee drop. He did that on the back of Will Ospreay, almost got his neck. I'm like, oh my god, Will Ospreay's had back issues, so it's like, whoa. When Bailey does his spinning kick thing, it's like, oh boy. He kicked him Will Ospreay at one point. It's like, ow. So yeah, these two just went out there and had a banger. 18-minute match. I've seen some people online talking about 5-star. My guess is Melcher's going to blow 5 1/4 probably on it. I can't go 5-star, and I went 4 3/4. In order for me to do a 5-star match, number one, it has to be over 20 minutes. If this match would have been 21 minutes, I may have gone 5 on it, but it was like, it was so great that, but there was a little bit of, pauses in it. So I was like, if they had gone over 20, it would have been a different discussion. But since it was under 20, that's a fast, harder rule for me. 20 minutes, it cannot be under 20 minutes to be 5-star. So 4 3/4 star. Will Ospreay beating Speedball Mike Bailey. Hopefully we get more of Will Ospreay in Impact Wrestling. We know his contract with New Japan is up in February. The rumor is, where's he go? People want to see him in WWE. I don't know if I want to see him in WWE unless it's one of those 1 year and done kind of deal. Now, if he goes to WWE and comes out, say, Royal Rumble, wins the Rumble, goes to Mania, and he's the one that ends Roman Reigns' streak, and they pimp him like he is, basically play him exactly the same he is now, just in WWE, I might be okay with it. You put him in NXT, you don't give him a title, you just put him as a showcase, you just have him do stuff with Ricochet, do stuff with the Lucha Libre guys, and that's it. Yeah, no, I don't want to see that. He deserves to be, if he goes to WWE, he needs to main event WrestleMania. But I hope he doesn't. I hope he signs with AEW, but so we can still see him in New Japan and we can still see him everywhere. How about a Will Ospreay versus Adam Cole match? Who's in? I know I'm in. Or Will Ospreay versus Josh Alexander. I think we've seen that. Let's see it again. Or hey, let's do Alex Shelley versus Will Ospreay. Imagine that would be damn good. But yeah, 4 3/4 on that. Will Ospreay getting the victory. I think Will Ospreay's the best in the world. Mike Bailey, the best striker in the world. All right, next up we had the Call Your Shot Gauntlet match. For those of you that are new to Impact Wrestling, this is a kind of a Royal Rumble version of a match. It's 20 people, men and women, to start, and then every 60 seconds somebody else comes in, throw over the top rope. The final 2 actually have a match, pinfall, to win it. So in the match was Jordynne Grace, Brian Myers, Bully Ray, Dirty Dango, alongside of Alpha Brava and Oleg Prudius, Vladimir Kozlov, formerly known as. He was not in the ring, but he was on the outside. Eddie Edwards, Eric Young, Frankie Kazarian, Gisele Shaw, and her entourage, Heath, Jake Something, Jody Threat, Joe Hendry, Johnny Swinger, Jonathan Gresham, Juventud Guerrera, Kenny King, K-I-N-J, KiLynn King, Matt Cardona, Rich Swann, and Sonny Kiss making his Impact Wrestling debut. The final 4 was KiLynn King, Matt Cardona, Jordynne Grace, and Bully Ray. The final 2 was Jordynne Grace and Bully Ray. Came down to 2 of those. They were actually in the original All-In Battle Royal. Jordynne Grace this time was able to beat Bully Ray. Talked about her when she called her shot. She wants a shot at the Impact Knockouts Championship at Hard to Kill in January. So whoever wins between Trinity and Mickie James, she's calling her shot, wants her title match in January at Hard to Kill. I ended up giving that 3 1/4. It was okay. Jake Something and Eddie Edwards, the 2 that started it. I want to see more from Eddie Edwards. I think he should be world champion, but hey, this was a pretty good match. 3 1/4 star. And then Jordynne Grace getting the victory. And then our sub-main event match was the Impact Knockout title. We had champion Trinity versus Mickie James. First time ever. These 2, kind of ironic, their husbands are on SmackDown together. Mickey's husband is Nick Aldis, the SmackDown general manager. And then Trinity's husband is, I think, she's married one of the Usos. She married Jimmy or Jay. I can't remember. I got to look that stuff up. See if I can find it right here. Alright, yeah, I gotta look that up. I can't remember which one the Usos she's married to. Alright, so she's married to Jimmy Uso. So yeah, both her husbands are on SmackDown together. I think that's kind of funny. First time ever matchup. I didn't even realize that they've never touched WWE. They talked about that even. I'm like, that's kind of interesting. Trinity, her and her glow. Now, there's been a rumor that Mickie James was possibly going to follow Nick Aldis to WWE, which I can see happen. So I actually didn't think Mickie was going to win this, which is accurate because Trinity ended up retaining her title. Nice little 12-minute match. 2 knockouts is going on. I mean, one of the better knockout matches of recent time. I ended up giving it 3 1/4 with Trinity getting the victory. And then our main event. One of the best Impact Wrestling title matches we've had in a while. We had champion Alex Shelley going against Josh Alexander. We remember Josh Alexander, the longest reigning Impact Wrestling World Champion. Unfortunately, he had relinquished the title due to injury a year ago. Never got his title match again. Finally got his title match. Went out there with Alex Shelley, one of the Teenager Originals, and just tore the house down. These 2 put on one clinic of a match. We had submission, we had striking, we had top rope, we had a little bit of everything. At the end of it, 22 and a half minutes later, Alex Shelley getting the victory. I gave it 4 star. So this show had 2 4+ star matches. It had everything was over 3. This is one of the best pay-per-views of 2023, hands down, especially for Impact Wrestling. So yeah, I really enjoyed it. Definitely would people check this out. Then we had the vignette at the end where you had some of the Teenage Originals: Eddie Edwards, Shelley, Josh Alexander, Jordynne Grace, Eric Young, and they're at like a swamp area, and they pulled this box out, a red box, and they're talking about going back to the beginning and doing things again, and then they open the box up, and like this fireworks goes off, and it's like talking about TNA and all this, and kind of that run back of things that happened in the past, and then they announced TNA Hard to Kill in January, so definitely looking forward to TNA being back. I always love the brand itself, TNA, total non-stop action. So yeah, can't wait. I think 2024 is going to be one monster year for pro wrestling. You got AEW getting traction. You get WWE being WWE, now the Triple H is in charge of everything creatively because of the sale to Endeavor and Vince stepping away and Endeavor appointing Triple H, so the whole thing's going to be Trips baby when it comes to creative. We've already seen improvement there. Impact's improving. AEW is improving in my opinion. I know some people are down on it right now, but whatever. I just think coming out of 23 into 24, it's going to be one monster for pro wrestling. We got all the streaming available for the other independent companies. New Japan's getting a new app. Rev Pro, Progress. It's like everyone's just upgrading their product, upgrading the streaming. Everything's available now. Definitely check it all out. As always, that is the review of Impact Wrestling / TNA Bound for Glory. We'll try to review more of these kind of shows, more independent shows in 2024. So I'm working on that. But as always, thanks for watching Robert Sports Show. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do. We're at 292 subscribers, 8 away from 300. Can't wait to hit that marker of 300. I think that'll be super cool. Follow me on X at Rob Sports Show. As always, thanks for watching Robert Sports Show. And don't just have a great day. Have a spiffy day. Robert Sports Show, your YouTube leader in sports show content.